right, so they got Sejuani and Nocturne locked in for the junglers. Nocturne's not really one you see too much anymore. Kind of entered the meta as a Zoe counterpick a little while ago, but he's kind of fallen off in favor of some of the tankier bruiser junglers, but probably feeling comfortable in that one to pick it up against that team.
Gotta definitely be a comfort pick at this point.
Yeah. And the Mordekais are just so strong right now.
Again, this is a very important matchup, being our playoff matchup.
Gonna miss a ban here. Okay, so they missed that ban, maybe like a chat disconnect or something, or they're typing it to each other saying this was supposed to be, etc. Not sure. Aatrox coming out here. It's weaker on this patch. They took away his revive, so I'm not sure about a ban on that one. Might be a target ban at one of the players here on team 2.
A1B.
But yeah, A1B we'll call him.
A1B.
A1B.
A1B. And team 5. So if you're confused by who's who, let's straighten you out. Team 5 would be on our right, and A1B will be on our left. So just keeping up, A1B left. This one's on the right. The team 5 is on the right.
Yeah, my team played against these A1B a few times. They're pretty good.
That bottom lane looks dangerous. And I think they're going to do Swain Yumi. No, Swain Morgana. I'm mistaken.
Yeah, that's a super sick lane.
Swain Yumi has also been very popular lately, if that's what you want to call it. Because, popular equals good for the meta. No, it's not. It's really, really hard to catch Swain in that regard, but, So, let's talk about the teams and their win conditions.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about picking the Swain into a team that already had a pretty strong tank line with the Alawi, and then you have the Nautilus too. So, I mean, if those tanks get too far ahead, there's not really going to be much persistent DPS for Team 5 to be able to shred those tanks down before the rest of their team dies to the carry damage of like the Sivir and the Azir. So it's an interesting choice, maybe a comfort choice for Trixelar in the bot lane, but we'll have to see if they can snowball that lead early and make that tank line irrelevant for A1B.
But I'd like to keep in mind that what's going on with their team, what's going on with Team 5 this is a playoff match. So what they could be doing is using a dummy team to gather data.
They could. The playoff matches are best of 3, correct?
Correct. It's the best of 3.
Yeah, the dummy teams, I haven't seen those be super efficient in a best of 3. In a best of 5, sure. But in a best of 3, where if you go down one game, you only have to lose one more and you're out. I'm not sure you'd really want to run a dummy team into a best of 3. I mean, it seems like a pretty legitimate team comp they have. I mean, as far as they have a large AoE team fight abilities and some pretty good denial for the Nocturne engage to pick people out.
Maybe instead of doing an ADC that carries the game, maybe they want to put that strain on Mordekaiser as their win condition instead.
With the split push, it's definitely a good win condition to go on because that champion is just so good right now. He did receive a bit of a nerf in the most recent patch, but still obviously a very strong champion. And an important thing to note with Mordekaiser is that when you're split pushing, a lot of teams against Nocturne will be scared to do that because the Nocturne turns a fight into a 1v2, right? But if you're split pushing with Mordekaiser, you say, no, this is still a 1v1. You press the R button, and then there you go. It nullifies Nocturne's effectiveness on the map pretty well.
I mean, against him, of course, but it also scares and spooks the rest of the team as well. But the thing I see in this team is they have a lot of different engage tools. They got the Kennen ult that can stack on top of the Sejuani ult. They look like they're more prepared to fight than they are split push.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, usually if you have your top laner like Mordekaiser, who's such a strong duelist, with the TP, you want to send him to split push. And against a Nocturne too, that's just such a strong denial of if the Nocturne ults top lane, that's a huge punish because Mordekaiser just ults the Alawi anyway. Alawi is a pretty good 1v1 champion though, but with a Sivir, with a Nautilus, with an Azir, I would like to see the Alawi team fighting just because of her huge effectiveness with her ult and the recent buffs she's gotten. So I think this is going to be a pretty strong back and forth here from both of these teams. They both have good AoE team fight ability.
Correct.
We're going to have to see which one of these junglers can snowball the laners to make either side gain a small advantage in the first 15 minutes or so.
And I just want to get your thoughts to the changes on Alawi before we because we're getting the final seconds before we get ready to jump back in during the delay.
Oop, 1 second, sorry. I am lagging. Basically, it was just like an extra tentacle spawn.
Right.
Faster
An extra
tentacle spawns.
and they changed one of her the scaling on one of her abilities to scale with AP as well.
Yes, her passive now scales with AP.
So you know, those two changes.
It's pretty cool.
Those two changes, and you see her going against Mordekaiser. How much does that really affect her? Because I know she was like a big champion against Mordekaiser when his rework was done.
Yeah, she now spawns more tentacles with her ult, and her passive is just better. But I mean, as far as in the 1v1 between them, it's really going to be up to the junglers here to see who can actually impact the lane early enough to have it matter. I mean, I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do.
All right. And as we load into the riff, I can't wait to see what they are going to do. Alrighty. Mordekaiser playing a little guitar for us.
That's a sick skin.
You gotta be entertaining. This is the playoff matchup. You gotta be a little bit more entertaining than you usually are.
Yeah, you gotta whip out the fancy skins, shred some solos.
You made it. You made it to the ESDL playoffs. I know there's a finals game coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, the finals game is Sunday. Yeah, that's pretty
So stay tuned to this channel. Stay tuned to this channel. We'll have a lot more for you.
So both these teams going for kind of a standard start. I mean, they know it's a playoff match, so they're not really trying to go for any cheesy invades or anything. They're kind of just doing the standard spread, watching jungle entrances.
And
so I'd like to see that.
I love to see that. Craft singles, you know what I mean? Nobody doing any cheese.
I would have liked to see maybe an early ward come down from either blue side or red side into the jungle to get some intel on what the enemy jungler is doing. Looks like they're just opting to go for a standard start blind and just kind of going to assume.
Oh, you think they're playing that extra too safe?
A little bit. Usually you want to at least get one ward down in that enemy jungle, either by the Raptor camp or if you're on the blue side of the map, by the Raptor camp, or if you're on the red side of the map, you want to get one by the blue buff or something, just in case they try to vertical on you. But didn't matter this game because they both went for a standard start. They weren't punished.
So that's good. All right. Very curious to see how this Swain bottom lane does. That Sivir is going to make a pay if he didn't care. A little bit of skirmish.
Good.
Mordekaiser pulls the Lowy out. That AoE just eating at her. Oh, that Q, that was a bad trade.
Yeah, he just got shredded there. I mean, after he ate that E, he just had no choice but to take all the rest of Mordekaiser's damage, and Yuumi on book just showing some dominance here in the top lane.
Just that hurt my soul. And again, pulls her. But this time she's able to walk out.
Still eats the Q on the back end, though, and I mean, that's just a continued trading pattern for the Mordekaiser that she doesn't start to be aware of. That
Nocturne. Nocturne gets pulled. Oh, but here's Alawi striking back, taking his soul.
yeah,
I
have
heard-
to test the spirit.
Isn't that like shorter now? Isn't the duration shorter?
I believe it is. I'd have to double check the patch notes. Alawi's not a champion I'm too familiar with, but definitely looks like a pretty fun one.
If you're her or on her team, if you're against her,
if you're an Alawi fan, you're gonna love those changes. If not, then you're just gonna have to deal with them. And Mordekaiser seems to be dealing with them pretty well here in the top lane. I mean, getting the best of most of these changes, and an advantage that he has, missing the hook there, is not having a mana resource to worry about. So while he can continue these extended trades with the Alawi, he doesn't get punished by having.
and here comes the gank. Sejuani jumping in on an ult, but he wasn't in place. But here it comes. Nothing comes out of it.
Yeah, they got the stun off, but
Sejuani,
unfortunately,
oh,
Mortal
gets taken down. Pulls him close.
huge
And
ult.
what a flash out. Oh, double kill going over to Renekton. But we got action in the mid lane. And Kennen makes it out.
Yeah, Kennen barely living there, and I mean, such a huge outplay from Mr. Zerg on the Nocturne. He was able to go in for the counter gank, and then dodge the Mord damage when Mord almost looked like he was going to get that 1v2 outplay there at the end. And a great flash from Mr. Zerg saves his life and secures him the double kill. Kennen in the mid lane now.
Kennen in the mid lane, looking a little dead. Nocturne. If that would have hit, that'd have been something worth flashing in to get.
Barely missed the Dusk Trail. Nocturne's flash, of course, down, but Azir also not having flash, actually. So Kennen a little bit safer there than he maybe he thought.
But Sejuani off the back end.
Yeah,
Going back in and gets taken down. This game is
such big impact from these junglers here early. Nocturne going in now mid lane.
and chewing her up
Here,
and spits her out.
just such a free kill there. I mean, Kennen being solo, there's nothing he can do. Just has to watch his teammate die. That feels super bad.
That poor Kennen. He's just standing there like, hey, like stop.
Yeah,
Could
when you
you
just have
not?
to watch your teammate die like that, that just feels so bad for Team 5. I mean, A1B coming through here with Mr. Zerg's jungle lane honestly looking far superior right now to Puppeteer 1. We'll see if Puppeteer can maybe bring it back. Sejuani is one of those junglers that even though you fall behind in the early game, you're still super relevant,
Right.
especially with such a large teamfight comp with your ultimate. Now, if this was teamfight tactics or the old Sejuani, she'd stun everybody with her ultimate, but unfortunately, it's just that one person stun now. Right, please bring back the old ult.
But it does
Still
slow
down.
everybody in that area, which is
It
also
does.
still good.
It's
So,
still good.
you know-
Still missed the old one, though.
Oh, hold. Those
Yeah, but
tentacles.
Mord's sitting on level 5 still.
Oh no, he's 6.
I don't
Now
think
he's in
that-
the. But the problem is those tentacles don't do. Oh, you tried to run. How you gonna get killed in your own shadow zone?
Yeah, and that's, I mean, we're seeing now how good Alawi is into the Mordekaiser, because you take him into the Shadow Realm, but there's tentacles there too, and they just have a smaller area to smack you in. So I mean,
Yeah.
it kind of actually seems pretty good.
Yeah, you kind of stuck yourself in a combat zone with all of her tentacles, and you can't move, though you're faster because you know they get slowed.
Yeah, Mr. Zerg securing the dragon here for the side of A1B. Alawi's going to love that one in the top lane. We talked about the resource advantage that Mordekaiser has without having a mana resource, but now Alawi with that ocean dragon.
Getting
kind
pulled,
of- Yeah,
Start-
they're fighting now.
shredding it, taking his spirit.
Just so much damage coming out from Alawi now. Just the phage.
That's
Now with the ocean to
and it's
regen
that
those trades.
and it's that first gank. It was that first gank that went oh so poorly.
Yeah, it's such a shame because I mean, it looked like Yumi on book was doing a pretty good job in this lane here in the 1v1, but that gank going so poorly for him just kind of told the story of this lane. for the Mordekaiser.
And bottom's been awfully quiet.
It has. I mean, I'm sure the side of Team 5 is glad for that. They can just farm up and try to get to their carry points, but A1B just really focusing around these solo lanes.
Yep.
Kennen roaming up to the top lane.
And they trying to grab that Nautilus. Uh-oh. And here comes the gang win. As soon as we say we're quiet.
Mr.
Oh, and Alawi take down Sejuani up top.
That's insane, because Kennen had actually roamed up there for the 1v2 top lane to try to kill the Alawi, but if you've played League of Legends for long enough that you've seen a lot of Alawi, you know that when there's a 1v2 against Alawi, she's usually going to get at least one kill, sometimes two. Very hard champion to gank with just a 1v2 when she's already ahead.
And now I feel bad for the Mordekaiser. Now you have to walk back in the lane and face that.
Then he has to deal with the being 2 levels down, Alawi already having that completed Black Cleaver, almost a double CS lead on the Mordekaiser, and honestly, this game is really starting to snowball out of Team 5's control for the favor of A1B.
Yep, and we've got, and it's a 4K, almost 4K goal lead that they're staring down. Almost 5, actually. Where is my math at? Allow it.
That's okay. Yeah, hitting these hooks, but it's honestly not enough at this point.
Good Lord!
Even with the ult.
Mordekaiser still chewing her down. Showing that, hey, I am not. Oh, wow. Taking his spirit. He's running. Still does quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, Mord's still doing some decent damage, but I mean, with those kind of trades, even if they go even, Alawi with the Ocean Drake is able to just stay in lane while look at Mord under tower. He has no HP and no way to regen that, no potions. It's going to be very hard for him. He can get dove here by the Alawi too.
Correct.
She hits one ability and she'll die.
And look at Nocturne making sure. Coming up to make sure.
Yeah, Mordekaiser having no ult available. Nocturne's ult not quite up yet either, but I think he can kind of just walk at him here. Probably going to have to burn the flash.
Does burn the flash. Goes in. Mordekaiser pulls him up.
Actually, hooks him to him. A little bit of a late flash. You want to flash before that tether can land for the Mordekaiser, but...
Kennen coming up to clean up! And gets taken down, and Sejuani using her ult.
Yeah, using the ult for style points there wasn't needed, but you got to get the mental damage off as well as the physical damage on the champion, so... Smart use of that ultimate by you got to intimidate him.
If that Swain was closer.
Yeah, the E almost landing for Swain, and something we didn't talk about is there actually were some Swain changes in the most recent patch. Are you familiar with those?
Yes, I'm very familiar with those. Swain got a couple of lifestyle changes where his Q can now go through minions and hit you as well, instead of them being a part of the minions when they hit you. That's one big change, and his ultimate is another change. Sejuani going up to... I'll explain what I mean by that. Jumping in.
Flash there, but didn't really get a lot of...
And they're running after... Can they finally take... Oh, and the ult comes through!
So much healing.
Azir came through! He's poking you! He's poking you!
Yeah, you gotta think...
Oh my God!
Tower here.
And he's just dead under tower! Kennen looked like he was gonna suffer the same fate! Nautilus flashed out, but barely missed.
Yeah, didn't quite connect there with the flash hook for Nautilus. But I mean... Alawi healing for so much in that bush, down to about 10% health.
The rotation from Team A1B is so good.
Yeah, sending the Azir up to the top lane was a good call. Just having the jungler go mid, burn the Kennen flash, and now that's down for the next fight on the Dragon, which probably would have been a point where Team 5 would have wanted to look to fight with their large AoE ultimates with the Kennen, the Sejuani, the Morgana, the Swain. But now not having that flash on Kennen make that so much harder to find a good engage. So smart play by A1B.
As we're getting the move in, as we're moving into basically when the plates fall and into the mid game, they're staring down a significant gold deficit. What does Team 5 do?
Nocturne actually stole that blue, but ends up falling.
And look! And he goes in! Gets taken down! That's that team fighting ability we were talking about! Swain, pops!
Exactly what they needed. Sivir was
barely!
He's not able to get out.
But Azir takes down Kennen! He's still here fighting! That little soldier poking away! Sivir comes up! And take down Sejuani! You stayed a little bit too long!
So squishy at this point. I mean, and that's just a little bit of a flaw for the build of the jungler for the side of Team 5. If you rush that Cinderhawk, which gives you so much of a benefit for getting early help, but then straight into a mana crystal and a cloth armor, you're not really utilizing the strength of that jungle item that you've got for yourself. I would have liked to see a Warmog's rush. I guess maybe he figured the armor against the 3 AD champions of A1B, but
I see what you did there.
yeah.
See what you did there. Run it! Oh wow!
Going to mid lane.
Nocturne said, nope, you're not getting away this time, and he goes down. Swain catching him, pulling him close.
So much chain CC there, but not enough damage. Sejuani coming over the wall, but doesn't have that ultimate spell available, and Nocturne able to get out clean. Knowing that flash was down on the Kennen from earlier and going right back in was a smart play by Mr. Zerg.
Very, 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 very smart. But again, the question is, where's the damage going to come from Team A1, not Team A1B, from
Team 5, yeah.
Team 5, because as you noted, they had CC on top of CC, but they didn't die. And A1B is getting it done, though.
They are. I mean, that's part of the strength of picking a bot laner like Sivir. Granted, they did also win lane, but even if they hadn't won lane, they would still be able to transition to these mid-game rotations and fights a lot more smoothly with the amount of wave clear and mid-game power spike damage that Sivir offers, even on not even one completed item yet. Just that ultimate giving her so much utility. And for the side of Team 5, you would have loved to see them pick up a standard AD carry and kind of try to play the lane a little more standard, knowing that it is the playoffs.
But this Swain does scale very, very good late now. Because if we go back to that conversation, the changes to his ultimate is now, instead of popping when he deals so much damage, it now pops. You're now able to pop it once he heals so much.
Yes, so they changed that threshold, and you can actually use it instead of just having to wait. So it's super nice, and the best part about that is they no longer have the soul fragment requirement to be able to cast it.
Right.
You can cast it whenever and just heal, and the soul fragments are now just a permanent buff to your health as the passive instead of just gaining one whenever you hit an ability. But Nocturne going on the Sejuani here.
So, takes him down.
Yeah, Nocturne actually falling. Mordecai's with the down.
This Sejuani goes down. Swain, are they gonna go after Alawi? Oh, he roots her. Fighting with her. The tentacle smack. But can't heal for enough. Takes down Morgana on the back foot. And Swain gets taken down too. Kennen wants to go in, but looking over like, is it safe? As they start taking this mid-lane turret. Nautilus tried to go in flash to get a hook, but missed.
Didn't connect. Little greedy there from the Nautilus, but Alawi making the call to start that Rift Herald up to try to end this one. I mean, it's looking like a pretty steep hill to climb for the side of Team 5. I think at this point in this kind of game, you want to kind of start thinking about the next game. Keep yourself untilted, start strategizing. Nautilus missing the blast plant there. But yeah, I mean, you're having fun, right? You're playing with your friends, people you've gotten to know over the course of the season so far. So you want to keep it light and keep it casual while still trying. So maybe not focusing so much on the current game, trying to figure out a strategy for next game, because clearly NA1B had your number for this.
Oh yeah. And it's mostly the way they play it around the map, you know? Their map control is crazy.
And as we say, that Sivir gets caught in the bot lane with some great map awareness from the AD carry for the side of A1B. It's fine.
But look, if she would have won that, look who was there to clean up. Two teammates. There are always 2 to 3 of them around somewhere.
Yeah, a little bit of a blunder there by the Sivir, but probably not going to be too consequential here in this game. It's all but over as far as the formalities are concerned of the nests exploding. I mean, I'm sure Team 5 could pull something out, but with the style this game has been going, it's
you never know.
You never know.
Crucial mistake. Oh! Did you see how much damage she did?
Yeah, Alawi putting the proverbial nail in the coffin here for the Mordekaiser. I mean, has been dominating all lane, now almost.
And here comes Rip Arrow. Rip Arrow comes out.
Yeah, a bit of an odd spot for the Herald there, but it'll still get to the tower and get the job done.
Right.
Swain popping nail on the back isn't even able to get close enough with that ultimate to heal any damage, so not even going to be able to pop it to explode. Really just, that's kind of been the story.
But it does nothing. And Nocturne goes in and takes him down.
Yeah, they have to play so respectfully of the Nautilus and the Alawi potential here for the side of A1B that Team 5 is almost not even able to get in range to dictate any fights like they'd want to.
No. So that team, the team comp that's built for fighting, is being shut down by the team protecting it. All right, as we head over the middle, Mordekaiser taking him into the Shadow Realm. But Azir making him pay for that dearly as they finally come out. Moore's almost dead and takes him down, getting that shutdown gold. Tetwani trying to take down this Nocturne that flashed over the wall, saving his life. But now they have to deal with the bad objective. The bad. Tetwani getting jumped down here in the jungle. You extended too far and got cut down. As Alawi's up top, making 3 of them pay for it. Morg running away.
It's just so scary to even walk within Test of Spirit range of Helmet on this Alawi. It's like they just take such a chunk that it's so punishing to even try to go up and defend these objectives. But fortunately for them, the rest of the team kind of rotated away.
Oh! And they took Kinnon's soul. Kinnon running away. Mord hits her. She, Nautilus ult, comes down, pulls up, gets taken down.
Just not enough here.
And they're not leaving. They're not leaving their base. Don't worry, we'll pitch tents. It's okay, we brought snacks. As they're running through, they can't even defend their turret. They're trying to. This allow, and there goes the ult from Kennen. Take down Sivir, but then gets taken down himself. This Alawi's presence just so much. Test the Spirit, taking him down. And getting taken down by a random tentacle from behind. Azir goes down. Nocturne gets taken down by Mordekaiser. But the people that wrecking the base still here. Test the Spirit in the Shadow Realm. The tentacles down. Almost killed Mordekaiser. They're trying to protect the base as more super minions pour in. There's nothing they can do. They're just walking around. They're backing off and trying to let the super minions finish the job.
Yeah, kind of an awkward law here for them. I mean, they had all the towers down and stuff, but the respawn timers just necessitated them leaving. Yumi on book here on the Mordekaiser trying to take Helmet on Alawi to the Shadow Realm, but he says, "You've activated my trap card," and hits that R button and just turns it completely around on the Mordekaiser.
That was not even fun.
No,
that wasn't fun for you, Mordekaiser. That was not
fun. You hate to see that if you're a Mordekaiser fan. I mean, Mordekaiser one trick shaking in the boots right now at the thought of playing against Alawi's in solo queue, but it looks like A1B just going to head to this Baron and seal the deal with this objective and the 3 down inhibitors in the open nexus for the side of Team 5.
As they're taking Baron, and it's pretty much free because, again, Team 5 has no vision on Baron at all. They can't see it.
Yeah, they're down 15,000 gold. They have absolutely nothing on the map right now, and I mean, you'd like to see them brainstorming for kind of what can we do against this style, this roaming brawler style that A1B offers. And I mean, the kind of picks they're going to have to bring out if they can come up with some, pull some out of their pocket, and maybe bring it back for game number 2.
As they're back in the base, they're just going to attack the base. They're not caring. They took him to the Shadow Realm, but it doesn't matter, because in the Shadow Realm, you're still dead at 23 minutes. Team A1B taking down Team 5.
Yeah, taking it home with dominance here against Team 5. A1B looking extremely strong. Definitely something that other teams are going to have to look out for with this dominating performance in the playoffs.
Woo!
Looking like one of the top tier teams.
Let's take a look at some of these damage charts for just a second. Where there's no surprise in the damage charts, but the one thing that is surprising is how little Team 5 was able to respond. Alawi did almost 22k, 23k. And the closest on their team was Mordekaiser with 12k. The closest.
Yeah, when you're that behind, I mean, you very rarely, like we said, how they were playing so far back from them, they very rarely had opportunities to get close to the enemy team and to actually deal damage to them because they had to be on the back foot so often. So tough game for Team 5, but we'll see if they can bounce back here.
So let's talk about what they start doing next. You said, hey, we're losing this game, that's fine, let's move on to the next game. What do they do in the next game to prevent what happened this game?
Well, I don't know their champion pool super well, but I would like to see them pick a bot lane that it can be a little more utility based. Maybe play a little more safer, a little more standard. Don't go for the wonky picks like the Swain Morgana, which is fine, but against the style that they're up against a superior team, I feel that they maybe want to fall back on some more comfortable bot lane styles that can more easily translate into mid-game plays for them instead of having the awkward transition of needing to get Swain on like 2-3 items to be impactful.
And even by the time he got impactful, it was way too late. You had too much against you at that point. You had way too much against you. And it was crazy how much it was. It was, you had what? Just off the top of my head, off the top of my brain, you had Nautilus keeping you back. All of the people you wanted to gather to do damage with, you couldn't. Nocturne automatically got to all of your back line. No matter what you did, you need to. What I'm trying to say is pick a standard lane, because I get it, it's experimental, it's good right now, and yes, I've seen very good Swains with Yuumi that dominated. I get it, I got it, good. Just because the meta is doing it, you are in a playoff game. I'd like to see you act like it.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing, right? Is a lot of people will say, and I mean this is true for pro play as well, that if you are against a team who is better than you, if you try to play standard and they play standard, they're better than you, so they will just win. They will outstandard you. So that might have been the thought process for Team 5, picking something goofy in the bottom lane, knowing that maybe A1B a little bit stronger coming into the match here, but I mean, not working out there. I mean, I'd like to see them maybe transition to some other stuff they have in their back pocket and see if they can pull out a win here in game 2.
So let's say you do get, okay, let's say that their team game is better than yours, right? What's wrong with waiting for a mistake and then killing them for that mistake? Because that's what I wanted to see in big pieces of it. I wanted you to, go ahead, play your standard game and then just wait for a mistake.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like that's what they were trying to do for Team 5 in the bot lane. As far as during the lane, they were playing pretty safe. It all kind of fell apart when the jungler showed up. I mean, I know in top lane that happened much earlier, but they were kind of just doing their own thing in the bottom lane and just farming and trying to scale up, which is good. That's what you want to do in a bot lane. Ideally, in a bot lane, if you're playing bot lane, you don't want to see the enemy jungler at all because that just feels bad. Unless the enemy jungler shows up at a bad time and you can capitalize. But in some skilled competitive 5v5 teams like this, usually when the jungler shows up, it's because they know that they have the opportunity to kill you. So, I mean, for the side of Team 5, I would like to see, like you said, don't try to be as proactive if you're not sure. Just wait for the enemy team to make mistakes, but at the same time, you can't fall into the trap where, oh, we're just going to wait for them to make a mistake and they just slowly gain a gold lead and then the game is lost from that point. So they do need to be proactive in some ways on the map. Mr. Zerg, amazingly proactive on that Nocturne. I'd like to see Puppeteer 1 try to make some more plays around the map. Maybe take a different jungler than the Sejuani, or if you're going to take Sejuani, do some early invading. Sejuani's early fighting prowess is extremely strong. With the Aftershock and with the amount of damage you can proc with your passive on the E, it's actually pretty good. So if he plays a bruisey kind of jungler like Sejuani again, I want to see a little more proactive plays out of the jungler for Team 5.
I'd like to see J4 in that type of matchup, you know?
J4 would be good. The weird thing about J4 is while he might seem like he's a strong duelist in the jungle, he actually doesn't really want to fight the enemy jungler too often because all you really have is your flag drag and then you just auto-attacking forever. Where people like Lee Sin, Jin Zhao, even Nocturne have all these auxiliary abilities that give them bonus things on hit, etc., that make them much stronger 1v1ers. Jarvan is great for counter ganking, which actually would be amazing to see because Mr. Zerg ganks so much, Puppeteer can kind of shadow, figure out where he's going, and then come in with the sick Jarvan counter gank. So I would love to see that.
I'd like to see more deep wards from the supports on the respective teams. And the reason being is the junglers were a big part of how game one played out. The early gank loss to, rest in peace, gank loss to top lane is what made Alawi just go all the way off.
Yeah, no, very unfortunate gank there in the top lane. I mean, that's just such a well played gank by Mr. Zerg to avoid that damage. And I mean, the early vision would have probably prevented that. You're right.
And that's one of the things I want to see. And don't just ward your regular bush, the tri bush, the bush near river. Go take some time, go into their jungle, put down some wards, see where they're going, give that information out. That's just something I want to see because maybe if you can't do something in your lane, you and your ADC can stop their enemy jungler.
Exactly. And I mean, that pathing information is so important. You really, even seeing a jungler on one camp gives your team so much leeway and so much information to work with in lane. For example, if you're blue side, you see the enemy jungler on Gromp, you can start playing aggro top lane and not have to worry about literally anything at all other than CSing and harassing. It provides so much mental relief for the laners to know where the jungler is. So the supports could really do a lot of work here, helping out their team.
And another thing I would like to see is we had a master class yesterday in playing from behind, where a team was behind by several kills early on, and how to get the mindset of changing that around, and where they stopped chasing kills and they started focusing. Okay, we're not even gonna kill them. We're not gonna worry about fighting them. We're just gonna get them off objectives and knock those objectives down. I would and that's my offer to you guys as a mentality to change around. If you're not that good of fighters, work on being very good objective takers, because in that sense you can stop the bleeding or slow it down to where you can catch up.
Exactly. And I mean, I totally agree with that. There's a certain point where you don't want to fight the enemy team. If you're on a certain team and you're playing a certain style of game, you don't want to fight the enemy. You want to just scale and play safe. And I mean, if they pick that kind of team comp that's conducive to that play style, sure, they could do that. But the team comp they had in the previous game was kind of a necessitated fighting the enemy team, using their abilities kind of thing. So,
right.
I mean, I'd like to see them play a little bit different of a style this time around.
And I'm gonna go ahead and answer some of these questions from the chat. We're not sure what division this game is, but we do know that there's a championship match coming up. Thanks for that part, Orion. And yet, oh, so they liked your activated my trap card comment. That's gonna
Hell
that's gonna be one of your your little niches. Activated my trap.
yeah.
Yeah, and Philadelphia 420 says that they might want to revise those bans. That's a good point. That is a very, very good point. The bans that they went for in the first game didn't help them out at all. And we got good fans in the chat saying some very, very good things, guys. As we get ready to head over in the game 2, we're just waiting on them to hit the start button.
Yeah, it looks like they doing the pro draft right now. And then as soon as they're done with that, we'll be able to get into the champ select.
And I'd like to remind anyone that's watching, if you're not a part of the ESDL, join and sign up. It's totally worth it. I mean, yeah, it really is totally worth it. It's fun. Everybody here I've met is super nice. I can't tell you what it's like to play in a game yet. I haven't gotten on a team, but that's because my schedule really, really sucks. So
Yeah, I had trouble with that too. I just told him to sign me up for a lot more days than I originally listed, and I got me on a team a little bit faster. But then you only get assigned one day anyway, so it's easy to schedule around.
So,
but it is kind of tough.
My schedule is really bad, but that's my fault. I decided to make that's my fault.
You did it to yourself, God damn it.
Yeah, I did it to myself. I decided to make money. I decided to go to work.
What you got to do? Bad call.
You got a job.
Bad call.
What's wrong with you, loser? Anyway, but if you're not a part of the ESDL, please sign up. Yes, sir. Yes, working nights is very, very terrifying, and very, very terrifying, and is really, really bad for the scheduling. But I know that they're shoot, I really can't tell you what to do other than Friday. Or maybe take them. I don't know what type of job you got, Super Panda Gamer, but maybe take a laptop with you where you're going, buddy. Be off in the corner playing League.
Super want to be playing TFT on that laptop though.
TFT is fun. TFT is really, really fun.
We'll see what kind of synergies they can get in there. Champ select here. I'd like to see some Demon Rangers for Team 5 because that is super meta right now.
Yep, but what I really like to see is them actually stand on some footing here. Get some footing. That game was bad for them.
It was. It was. They couldn't get anything put together in the early game. I mean, they had some nice attempts on some early ganks, but I mean, Mr. Zerg just looking dominant on that early jungle and just thwarting any of these attempts here. Alawi ban coming through.
Get her out of here. That's well deserved. Get her out of here.
Yeah, that's one that we expected to see come through after that game. The Kiana taken away.
Because she is dangerous. They finally unlocked the potential of that character, and she's dangerous.
Yeah, Kiana's super sick. I'd like to see her in competitive play at some point. Not today, but Kane taken away from Mr. Zerg.
Controls.
Definitely. Jax taken away. Those 1v5 monsters.
Yeah, so what kind of team comp do you think Team 5 opted to run with this time around?
Bruh, I hope it is something where it's like protect the carry, where they got a really late game carry and all they have to do is feed her. Real simple win condition. Real simple.
Your Emperor shall return.
Alright, Azir banned away. I'm guessing because of the first game, they banned them away.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think the Azir was all too dominant there for the side of A1B, but I guess they just didn't enjoy laning against it or playing against it.
Nah,
I would
I
have liked to see
mean,
maybe
he
the
was
Nocturne
doing
ban.
he was doing damage from the back, and it's really hard for tanks to get to him without getting poked down before they get there. So I mean,
Fair point.
in my eyes, if you're gonna build a tank meta, get rid of it.
Yeah, speaking of tank meta, they picked up Scion.
And Cho'Gath, Hecarim. Oh my God!
So now we see 3 champions picked up between the 2 teams that just have go buttons with the Hecarim, Sivir, and Scion. So it's going to be a lot of
And we got
engagement.
Katarina going into Corki.
Yeah, Katarina is maybe a comfort pick here, maybe a little bit of a disrespect here going into the Corki, because I mean, that kind of champion into Corki just usually you don't have a very good time laning against Corki with an assassin like Katarina.
Yeah, but if you're good with a Nocturne goes away.
Saw that one coming. That makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
we saw
I'm
that.
surprised they didn't pick it early, but
Saw that
wanted that Katarina.
Reshgon. Okay, so apparently, we have a person in the chat that actually knows that Katarina is a beast with Katarina. So this is definitely a comfort pick. Shouts out to Philadelphia 420 if I said your name right, bruh.
Yeah, he knows what's up. There's the Swain again for
Whoa,
Team
wait,
5.
what?
The Swain Nami now.
Swain Nami. So not much of a different flow.
A little bit better, right? Because they have the Corki, so that can function as kind of the ranged carry for the side of Team 5.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
That's true. They do have Corki to be their range carry. But if he does bad against Katarina, ADCs need to be babysitted for a reason. They're ADCs. They need to be babysitted. They need to have items. They need to get to that point where they're as strong as you want them to be.
Right. Corki's one of those unique ones, though, that has that Valkyrie to be able to get out of almost any danger at all. And I mean, he offers so much harass in the lane that it's very hard, and wave clear as well, that it's very hard for Katarina to get priority like an assassin wants to do in the mid lane. Is ideally you want to shove the lane quickly and then rotate and try to get kills elsewhere on the map. And because you're not really going to be able to 1v1 the Corki too often with his ability to escape. But Corki's wave clear kind of denies that Katarina roaming a little bit, because he can shove the lane typically faster than her. And unless Katarina gets some spicy early game kills or maybe some good ganks from the Rek'Sai, like a flash on Burrow, something like that, Mr. Zerg is good at these early ganks. Going to be a little tough for Jeff Helmet to kind of execute on what you want to do with an assassin.
But let's get something clear. If you are comfortable with a pick like this and you can make this work, Katarina moving around that map will be detrimental to the way they're supposed to function. And that's the part that I'm scared of. Let's say that Corki doesn't do what he needs him to do. Katarina is dangerous when she's fed. Dangerous. Give her a little food and she's dangerous.
Especially because the side of Team 5 not really having any hard CC that's easy to hit onto Katarina. No point click CC, actually. The Hecarim ult is, for all intents and purposes, a point click CC because of the large radius of the fear. It's pretty easy to hit on Katarina for what you're trying to do. But
how often
as far
are
as
you going to have
that? Yeah.
How often are you going to have that up?
Yeah, very, very long cooldown there.
How often are you going to have that up? You got the Nami bubble, but that's also difficult to hit because you have it has that arc that it has to go through before it lands.
Yeah, when she's ulting, sure. You get the Nami knock-up, you get the Cho'Gath knock-up, you get the Swain pool, even the Hecarim knockback with his E are fine. But in order to kill that champion, you need to lock her down for a brief amount of time before she can get that ultimate ability off. And I just think that's going to be pretty tough for Team 5 to do. But we'll see if they can pull it out with this team comp.
They have Cho.
They do have the Cho.
Cho bounce up.
great champion into assassins like Katarina, but she's so mobile that knockup for Cho takes like 10 years to proc, right? So it's like, if you get hit by that on Katarina, you probably shouldn't be playing Katarina. I'm just saying.
But what he does have, and this is the thing that annoys me about Cho'Gath, what he does have is the silence.
Silence is sick. The silence is the thing that makes Cho'Gath so good into assassins, because they want to combo and layer their abilities, and if they can't do that, they become very, very easy targets for champions like Hecarim, Corki to just pick apart.
So she goes in to try to bounce around, gets hit by the voice. She stops. She can't get out.
Just yells at her. Just yells at her and she stops moving. It's just how it works.
It's like your dad.
Yells real loud.
It's like your dad. Hey, clean this room. And she just can't bounce back out. So, and that's what I'm afraid of for Katarina. She bounces in, gets hit by Cho. Cho's silence. She can't bounce out. Now she's stuck.
Yeah, she's stuck, but I mean, we're going to have to see who's stuck with who. Like last game with the Mordekaiser,
yeah,
stuck with that Alawi in the ultimate. So, I mean, if Katarina's stuck there, but she's fed, other team's going to be stuck with Katarina because that ultimate will absolutely shred the side of Team 5. I mean, not very tanky on that side. No. Really, typically, you don't go for tank on Hecarim. They would be smart to pivot to that Cinderhawk build this game, I believe, but we'll see what he chooses to do.
Right, and they have to. So Team 5 has to win this one to stay alive.
Team 5 alive. Let's see it in the chat. I want Team 5 fans send them your energy.
Send it to them as we get started and load into the rift. All right. Now. The first game they played is super safe. Are they gonna go into? Are they gonna start doing some cheese? We gonna get some craft singles? Or are they gonna play it super safe again?
30 seconds until minions.
Well, it looks like they're just kind of spreading out pretty standard. Again, I mean, I like that choice, but I do want to see some early vision come out, like we didn't see last game, and get some intel on these junglers to start predicting the pathing to set up some early plays. But opting not to do that, opting to play pretty safe, maybe a little bit too safe for the side of Team 5. The level 1 for A1B is all but non-existent. I mean, Katarina and Rek'Sai's level 1 is absolutely terrible. I think you can actually afford to play a little more aggro if you are Team 5.
Right. All right. Wait a minute. There is going to be some cheese, but it's coming at the end of it. Hold on. Somebody get some craft singles, because they about to walk into a bush. No, they did just walk into a bush! Morg! Morg didn't pay attention! Morg didn't pay attention!
Held the binding, but yeah, she held that binding for after the flash.
I didn't want that! No! Go for it! Bind her! Let your Sivir get a few auto attacks off. Like, go in! You're gonna cheese! Get craft! Don't get the cheap dollar store cheese.
Yeah, I can see what he was trying to do there, holding off on it just to get the maximum value.
And this Katarina is showing us that we were wrong. Almost handedly killing Corki.
Yeah, it took a decent amount of damage from the tower there, and Corgi actually no pots left, has to recall, but has that teleport to come back to lane. So Katarina not having that teleport and also burning Ignite but not getting the kill is actually pretty good for the Corki. He'll be a little safer in the lane now.
A little bit, if you don't count what happened to him. He was just living his life, playing Harvest Moon, farming, you know, and then just suddenly half of his life is gone, and then the other half, and now we're in the jungle. Puppeteer.
Well, Puppeteer actually got that camp though from Mr. Zerg. That's pretty good. Mid lane's actually fighting. Corki's shredding Katarina.
Oh, it takes Katarina down!
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the ability of Corki to punish Katarina. If she doesn't get that early kill with that ignite.
Morg! As he flashes, a lot of flashes going off. Rek'Sai flashes in to get Corki. Corki goes down as we shift up top. Zion, jump. Hits Cho'Gath, but nothing comes of it.
Yeah, another great play by Mr. Zerg in the mid lane to utilize his flash for an early play. Kind of almost looked like he was juking the Corki by baiting the flash after the Hecarim, and then actually flashing onto the Corki with the red buff to secure that kill. And I mean, well played by the Rek'Sai here for the side of NA1B.
And if you're just now tuning in, NA1B is now on the left, and Team 5 is now on the right.
Great bubble from Nami. In the middle of the Rek'Sai tunnel animation, actually stopped the tunnel from going through to layer the binding with that knock up in the bot lane. So really well played by Garthek on that Nami to prevent a possible kill.
Morg stunning, getting him in that stun. The changes to her pool. Paying off dividends. Ignite going on to Sivir. And she gets trapped by Swain's E.
Such a great pool.
And gets taken down. And a flash out. This time, Swain showing us he got it.
He did it this time.
He did it this time.
Proving us wrong, showing us the Swain is a great pick in the bot lane. And hey, I'd like to see it. I'd love to see the unique picks coming through. And when they work, it's super, super fun to watch.
Super. Alrighty.
Yeah, Jeff Helmet with an interesting roam there.
That was interesting. Rek'Sai tried to come over the wall, and Nami Bubble stopped him from doing so.
The second one, that's the second tunnel that's been denied by this Nami bubble. So Garthek really having Mr. Zerg's number this game. Kind of showing him why he stayed away from bot lane the previous game, saying don't come back down here. Definitely going to be second thoughts here for Mr. Zerg on the Rek'Sai before going bot lane again.
And this Katarina, very interested in that midway Katarina trade. Just going to move it down here. And it looks like the trade went into Katarina's favor.
Trying to shove this wave in. I mean, like we said, she just wants to shove that wave in Rome, but Corki's so oppressive with his harass and just constantly trade back abilities like that on her, but was able to get onto the tower this time and just crucially hit level 6.
Get ready to fly.
Rek'Sai in the top lane.
Passing right by Hecarim. Passing him by. That's some sneak. That's sneak 100. And here he comes! Jumping in!
But too late.
It's too late for Cho'Gath, and he just jumps in and gets killed! 2 kills going over the Team A1B.
And that's so unfortunate because that kind of echoes back to the last game, right? With the top lane gank going the wrong way for Team 5 and just snowballing the enemy top laner and jungler. Now sitting at 1-0, 2-0. Decent gold leads, nothing really too huge yet for these laners and junglers, but I mean, if you're Team 5, you're really looking at that and kind of thinking of the last game. Rek'Sai mid lane.
Oh, getting caught! And gets shredded! Three-man gank, but got the job done! I don't care how many men you need to do it, just get the job done!
Yeah, Morgana Ignite burned there. Katarina's still having hers up. Hopefully they're tracking that spell.
Hecarim spotted out!
Yeah, if you're Jay Storzy and that Corki, you really want to have that intel that was Morgana's Ignite and not Katarina's Ignite, so you understand her 1v1 power and ability to kill you the next time you go to lane. Because if you're thinking it's her Ignite, then you're going to play a little bit differently than if it wasn't her Ignite. And might see another Katarina kill coming through here with that Ignite if Corki wasn't paying super close attention. Swain coming in on the Team 5 here.
Missing her cue!
Yeah, Morgana.
And caught behind Emily lines! And getting taken down by Nami! Rek'Sai Rek'Sai!
Swain actually popping off too.
And there's another one going over to Swain! Swain! Fowler! Pops! Shixter! Drags her back and gets taken down! Team 5 still in this! Fighting with
Yeah,
everything
great
they got! Oh, they caught him on his jungle as he moves over and gets shredded by Katarina!
Katarina getting a kill with that ignite, like we said, burning the flash too, but picks up the red buff for her troubles. I mean, Trixler on the Swain, showing them some of his sweet moves, some of his tricks, but Katarina just able to come in the back and clean up. And now, I mean, that's the point of the game where Katarina starts to get really scary, like you mentioned, with the snowball style of champion that she is. Picking up early kills like this is what you want to see if you are a Juff Helmet fan.
Exactly. You want to see her get kills early. Put her so far ahead that they have no chance of getting close. No chance of getting close. They just get shredded before they get to her.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately for Team 5, they have some members that have kills now, right? Their jungler, Puppeteer, mid Corki, and Swain in bot lane on Trixlar have been showing some signs of life here in this game. They're not getting stomped again like last game was pretty bad for them. Not even down by 1,000 gold yet, so
it's a game.
they're showing some signs of life. They're showing that they came to play today and they want to try to bring this one back. Bring it home for the boys and go to game 3.
Opto trading up top heavily.
That's
Zion.
a fight in the top lane. The two tanks just slapping each other.
But look, they're sitting there. They're sitting there.
And Mr. Zorgon award, unbeknownst to him, he's already seen.
Yep.
Hopefully the gank doesn't still connect because that would be very unfortunate. The jungle turret.
Yumi on the book. Flashes out.
Yeah, Puppeteer running away from his laner there when he sees Mr. Zerg on the ward. That actually opened up a pretty decent window for Rek'Sai to tunnel the wall.
Jumps over.
Just trying to bait.
2 turret shots. But here comes. Oh, and Hecarim just takes him out by clopping him in the face.
Oh my
Namiel
god.
comes down. Morgan ults out. But here comes the Swain ult. Taking so much.
Yeah, he is healing for so much here.
Oh, hold her in and get taken down. And now they turn on Zion, running in for his life. Boom, and that one up takes him one down.
Yeah, Zion going down 2 there. I mean, that's pretty good for the side of Team 5. Now they are at a gold advantage. They have a 500 gold lead, a 3 kill lead. Really well played by Team 5. I mean, in that top lane gank like we saw the Rek'Sai tunnel the wall, right? The Cho'Gath Doctor.
And this time they're going for jumping in on Cat, shooting her down.
Getting shredded here. That Corki punish against the assassin. That's just, as soon as you get that sheen and a few other bits and pieces of your items, you just start to really hurt.
But the important part is she did not die. Rek'Sai going after this Hecarim, but lets him go.
Pushed him out. I'd like to see Corki finish pushing this wave in. I mean, he has the TP up, but you could just push the wave, save the TP, try to get maybe a package gank with your TP off, but opts to leave it. Maybe they have some sort of play set up, a set piece for the mid lane, but heading back to the mid lane now, looking pretty standard.
Now,
just got the camp.
Question is, either other than early Ocean, we haven't seen any towers go down.
You haven't seen any towers. We're getting to the point where there's only 2 minutes left on the plates. We might see some pushes for these tower plates. Sion is getting some decent damage on the tower here in the top lane, picking up a plate for himself as we speak. But we'll have to see if he can get any more of these plates or if they're just going to opt to try to rotate for an objective like the dragon.
And Cho'Gath's going to make it back to lane. But is he going to get that plate before Cho'Gath gets there? These plates really important.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be able to pick it up here. Gets knocked up, doesn't really care too much. Sunfire will proc 2 tower shots, but not that much damage onto the tanky lumberjack Sion. He'll just be able to walk out.
Cho'Gath fighting him, trying to make it worth something. Sion
actually has
forced to fight. Walking.
Super
Brandon would come down.
Yumi on book.
And just take and chop the rest of his life down. You can't walk away from me. We are fighting. Katarina ults him. Ignite! Is it enough? Burning at him, and it takes him down finally! Slow and steady wins the race, folks!
Yeah, another good black shield by Robco, blocking out that Nami knockup, but Swain going in now has the advantage. Hecker Malt hits nobody.
No one!
Probably going to clean up the support here, but Swain healing for a decent amount.
Grab him, pull him up!
Ooh,
And Swain takes another one down! Pops ult! Nami!
The Ignite can become the Swain a little late.
Oh, it gets taken down by Katarina. That's the last thing you need. Shiver finally taking him down. But the kill goes over the cat. As all three of them on Corky.
Yeah, Corky TPing into the middle of three members there. Not the best idea. I mean, fortunate that he didn't die there. I mean, honestly, kind of lucky that he didn't die there. That should have been a pretty easy kill for the side of NA1B, but opted to just let him go. They'll get him another day. It's fine. Katarina's 4-1. Pretty scary cat there, and that's kind of what you were predicting there with the Katarina popping off. I mean, the Corky, we've seen some effective trades, but the roaming power of this assassin is shown to be superior.
Free kills indeed. Free kills. Because he just walked out. And here we go again. Zion trying to walk out. This time Corky here to make sure it happens. Just shooting it. You ain't got to go so far. I'm coming for you. The Randuin comes down again. Shooting him. There and chews him up. Then spit him out and he needs that stack.
Yeah, you'd like to see the Scion just pop the ult there a little sooner, just to get out when he knows that Cho'Gath is running to him like that. He's got to think that someone's coming in to help him out. If you pop that R immediately, you get right out. Don't die, but
I mean, not
holding
even
on for the ability, a little greedy.
I mean, not even to help him out. Not even like to help him out. Here's the thing. No one needed to help him out. Cho'Gath already proven if you give him a long enough time, he will kill you.
Exactly. You
Get
gotta
out!
respect that. Just
Get
hit that
out!
R button and get out of there. Yeah, Team 5 definitely looking good here. Hecarim going bot lane right now.
Getting pulled.
These Morgana bindings are so frustrating.
They're trying to
for
work
Team
on.
5.
They're trying to work around. They're trying to work around Baron right here. I mean, not Baron, Dragon. They're trying to get this Dragon.
Yeah, and NA1B picking up that Rift Herald, probably looking to drop that in the top lane. Looking at the Cho'Gath, but just kind of letting him recall. The wave's not shoved, so they can't really drop an effective Herald yet. Hecarim positing.
And here comes.
Just need towards bot lane.
Here comes Hecarim. Morg. Stopping him from going.
Morgana, but not enough.
Good drop. Good shield, Morgana. Good shield. But it wasn't enough. If you like. Rift Herald gets released mid. Corky trying to save his tower. Shooting Rek'Sai to get him off it.
Actually canceled the... Ooh, good Hecarim Mall gets the fear.
Rek'Sai running for his life.
Gale flash.
In those tunnels. And Corky takes him down from over the wall. This Cho'Gath is huge.
Yeah, that Cho'Gath is looking so sick. I mean,
But this time, Zion not running for nothing.
Champion.
He's fighting. Come here, bro. You might be tall like a tree, but I'm a lumberjack, bro. Pops him
Zion
up.
doing a decent trade here, but you got to respect the Cho'Gath ult damage.
And
I mean,
there's the ult. Pops him up in the air. Moves him around. But Hecarim here to help. Nice. And Yumi eats him again.
Yeah, there's that feast damage. I mean, when you get to a certain health threshold on a Scion, you got to think that a few more abilities landed from this Cho'Gath, and he's just going to kill me.
Ugh. This Scion's having helmet having a bad day.
Yeah, he's not liking this matchup too much. I mean, looks very, very comfortable on that Alawi. Maybe more of a carry player playing these tanks tries to do some things that you can do on carry champions and outplay, but Scion's pretty linear as a champion. Not much you can really do to outplay people or try to carry a game with that champion. You're really relying on your team.
Wait, Vinde. Puppeteer is a jungler in this game, not a support.
Obviously a Thresh god though. Put him in that Thresh jungle. He'll carry.
All right, so the game is pretty even still. All the kills and everything, it's still pretty even.
It is. There's actually a gold lead for the side of NA1B.
Yes,
but
I know
there is a
about
kill
Thresh.
lead for the side of Team 5, right? So I mean, you have to think, just looking at the board, just at a glance, you think Team 5 is just so ahead, but then you remember that the side of NA1B has that Fed Katarina, and they have that Sivir Morgana super utility picks there in the bottom lane that can sort of negate a lot of this engage, because a lot of the engage from Team 5 is going to be, we're running at you. Morgana Binding says no.
Woo!
Morgana Binding said maybe that time. Just
Choke
kinda
it,
letting the choke
and Katarina just goes in!
deletes the support, but I mean, how impactful is that support kill going to be in this fight? We'll have to see.
Nami, not come down, but hey!
Hecarim straight onto the back line there.
And
Actually
just-
kills both of the carries for A1B. Katarina and Sivir both killed by Puppeteer on the Hecarim. I mean, maybe looking a little better on the Hecarim than the Thresh would have been. But
Jump! Zion, ulted just but Swain is still alive! Yumi on the book is chewing you! He's running!
that
And
red buff
shut
on
down!
Swain is huge.
This Swain trying to bring it back, Dolo! Will kick and pulls him into the tower! He takes the tower shot, but that's a tanky boy! Using the
Ooh.
stopwatch!
Stylish stopwatch. Won't get him the kill, but does look pretty cool. Probably saved his life. That Scion with the red buff is pretty scary.
That was dope!
I mean, at the start, it looked like a pretty good fight for NA1B, right? They had the Katarina in the back line. Only managed to kill the Nami with her ultimate spell, though, so not really what you want to see from the Katarina. You don't want to be assassinating the support inside of Team 5. You want to be assassinating
Nami.
that Swain, that Corki.
Going, Morgana, getting caught out, getting killed.
Yeah, the
Oh, they
disrespect there.
see
You never know
Katarina.
what yourself. Able to jump out there, Katarina in the mid lane, but the Morgana walking by yourself to ward, you really want to have one or two people with you to ward, especially when the enemy's catch potential champions are this far ahead.
And it's getting Katarina trying to defend her turret. Takes down Nami. Looking for the
Didn't
double
die.
kill.
That silence we talked about, though, shut her down for so long that she was just able to get chunked out.
Yup. And the same thing goes for Rek'Sai. That silence coming in big. Twice in a row. We talked about it.
And they're just pivoting straight to the Baron buff.
That's what you need to do. Turn.
Great call.
Someone needs to get this lead open. Like the game needs to be busted open. They're still within, what, 300? 300?
Okay. Yeah, they are. That is about a 200 gold lead for the side of NA1B because of those towers. I mean, maybe Team 5 realizing they don't have any towers, they pivot off of the Baron buff to look for a tower, but I mean, I think getting the Baron buff actually makes this easier.
It was gross. It was gross. She had to stay still. That silence was so much.
Yeah, that silence was insane. I would have liked to see them go for the Baron maybe there, having the Feast and the Smite available with the Corki alive as well, but they opt to go for the safer play, which, can you blame them after the last game went so poorly for them? They want to try to really secure this one.
Right? Playing slow and methodical. That's That's perfectly fine. But as we look at the dragon, they're starting it up. And that's an Infernal Dragon.
It's an
They
Infernal
need to
Dragon.
contest this. Corky
Crucially, it's
tried to
also-
steal it from over the wall
Doesn't get it.
and missed.
TP coming in here for Scion in the back
Zion
end,
coming
but-
down. I feel like some wires got crossed here.
Yeah, he TP'd, but I mean, really just to go push that wave bottom, he's not really getting much out of it, and now getting maybe called away by the Sivers so she can farm, but
I don't think that was a good play at all.
no, they secured the dragon, and crucially, that's their third dragon they have. Really, the important dragons of Infernal Mountain are so strong, and in
And
the ocean to
again-
keep them alive.
But again, look at this. Team A1B not winning in kills. And go ahead and show you this masterclass on staying close in gold.
Exactly.
Taking
doing
every
exactly what
objective
need
that
to
they
do.
can.
Oh, man, no.
Taking every objective that they can. Fighting the best they can.
Yeah, they know they scale well, but I mean, this time, Team 5 also scales pretty well with Corky, Swain, Hikarim, and Cho'Gath all scaling decently well into the late game here. I mean, Rek'Sai actually falling off pretty hard in the late game, so really going to be more of a utility pick there for Mr. Zerg. Just get that one knock up, maybe try to get a good amount of burst onto somebody, but we're probably not going to be able to kill anybody for the side of Team 5. Really going to want to try to be more of a supporting role, provide fuel for your Katarina and your Sivir.
And I'm thinking they're doing I thought they were doing a 1-3-1, but it more looks like a 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of all ARAM in it right now. We're going to have to see if they try to actually go for any objectives or plays. Pain's coming down onto the Baron here from the blue team, looking to get some vision dominance. Maybe bait a fight or just go straight up go for it.
All right, we can't wait to see Cat pop off. They said Cat pop off incoming. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. Let's hope that's silence. keep her from popping off. Zion walks into the push. Pops up. They cannot spend all of this time on Cho'Gath.
Yeah, they can't afford it. He's so tanky. Katarina hasn't gone in yet. They actually get the shutdown on the
Katarina
with the Rek'Sai, but
Katarina forced to back off. But that Swain healing so much. And get taken down while he's, and double kill. She goes down, she couldn't flash out. And the longest fight. Rek'Sai gets taken down mid. Zion is still fighting him. The rest of the team
3 for
shows
3
up.
so far.
And Zimmer takes,
Great play by the
Takes down-
Sivir to actually realize the damage she can do.
but gets taken down by Cho'Gath before Zion finally takes him down.
That's an ace.
That was a long fight.
That's an ace for team Team 5 there. I mean, Team A1B there. They actually pulled the ace out and were able to convert the damage. It was a very lap fest between that Cho'Gath and
ace!
the Zion, but they did it. And he gets the tower here in the mid lane on top of that.
Chopping
The
his
immortal
tower
Zion
down.
is not caring. He's
This
running away.
Zion just didn't care. They're throwing everything at him that they can to stop him. He's just walking off.
Yeah, at this point they should just kind of leave it with the Zion. I mean, they're not
He's gonna keep walking off. He's
Yeah.
just gonna keep walking off. Like, hello? Can you not? Can you not? You're just bothering the man. Like, just let him walk off. You're just bothering him.
Now, who do you think is going to be the first team to try to look for the Baron buff here? Because they're pretty close in gold, and both of them have a decent fight around the Baron pit. I would give the Baron taking advantage to the side of A1B, having that Sivir, and additional having the Mountain Drake. But Team 5 isn't really a slouch in the Baron pit either, having the Cho'Gath ult.
I have to give it to Team 5. That Cho'Gath fight, good too. That Cho'Gath fight is good too.
It's very good, but they're probably a little apprehensive about taking a fight in the Baron pit, knowing there's that Fed Katarina that has potential to one-shot most of your back
Yeah,
line.
that's true. All right, as we're getting the fight started.
Massive
Around
choke
this.
out half the screen.
Ooh, they need this one. It's another Infernal Drake. They need this one. They cannot let Team 5 take this one.
The A1B really wants to fight for this Drake. Sivir all getting popped there.
In thought, Zion fighting the Sivir in the back line, shooting as much as can. Comes in, but Cat going after Nami. Nami gets taken out. Now it's a 4v5. Corky shooting at Rek'Sai, and Rek'Sai gets taken down by Sivir.
Yeah, again, we see the Katarina jumping onto the support and killing her, but that's her cooldowns then used on just
And
killing the
now,
support.
Team
5.
Team 5 taking the dragon. Their first dragon of the game.
Yeah, great takeaway from A1B there, because getting that second Infernal with really all their members mostly benefiting from the Infernal Drake, with the Sivir, with the Morgana, Katarina, and even Rek'Sai and Sion benefiting somewhat from that dragon. It would have been pretty devastating to see two Infernals go over to their side.
Right. And again, reaching the back line for Katarina is a very important thing. Cho'Gath prevents that. Every time he's in there, he is in her way. She can't get to the back line. They have a big meat shield protecting them. You can't even see where they are in the back line.
She can't, but then, I mean, the impetus is on you then as the Katarina player, right? To look for those angles and look for those abilities to be able to get onto their back line and do a little bit more sneaky pathing than kind of just standing in a clump with your team and running straight at them. You want to be kind of getting on different angles and maybe flanks with some good vision control that you can see someone coming in on a different side and get in at an angle where you
they're
can
not
actually
going
access.
for Baron. They're actually just clearing. Now both teams making sure that the other team can't see. They're doing a lot of clearing out of Baron, but not going for it.
Yeah, the vision games right now, just fighting over vision dominance. Both teams want to make sure they have a good amount of control over that before they actually start the objective.
Let's see. Timex hat. Let's see if he pulls him out. He's gonna need him.
The angles, the speed, the precision.
He's gonna need him. Because this front line is terrifying.
Yeah, that's not what you like to see if you're playing an assassin. You don't want to be facing down a
Cho'Gath that is as tall as a tower. Here we go. Are they going for it? It's real quiet. Oh no, they look like they're baiting it.
baiting it, but gets spotted out by that Rek'Sai
Right?
Prey Seeker. So I mean,
But
don't take some damage from
they're
the back.
getting out of there. They're getting out of there. They're just gonna leave. Wait a minute. Are they calling it? Yep, they're calling it. Here we go.
I think they can just
Baron
do it at
fight!
this point.
Let's go! But team 5 starting it up. A1B there to contest.
Yeah, moment of truth here.
But
For
they
A1B,
get
if
they
can
get
take
off
it
of
down.
it. Here we go. They took the bait. More trapped behind enemy lines. Nami all comes out.
Katarina coming in behind though.
Sivir getting taken down by Swain. Katarina double kill.
That's what we're talking about. Those angles. Katarina actually coming in from all the way in the back that time, able to get
All
onto
the way in the
line.
back. Pops up. They're still chasing him down. Swain trying to get his Cho'Gath out of there. Katarina
Another all.
taking down Swain. Looking to take
huge
down.
play out of Joff.
And another one goes down. That is an ace going over to Team 5. Wait, no, is that A1B?
A1B, yep, Katarina
That is
popping
A1B.
off, and it's almost like he's watching the stream, because as soon as we mentioned like not clusters in the front of in the fights there, he actually takes a wide angle behind the Baron pit, able to get right into that back line and just shred that two
But
ultimates
that's
off
the
in
stuff you
fight.
have to do. You have to
Exactly.
come around. You can't just walk up and expect them to Like, excuse me, move, get out of the way. I'm trying to get to the back and kill your back line.
Right, and
They're not
especially
gonna
in someone like
move.
Cho'Gath, he takes up so much space with just his character model that it's so hard to even just walk around him.
Right, he's not gonna move. You need to get around him. But what was also good was when she came in. She came in when all of CCE was used. When Cho'Gath's silence was already used. So she wasn't silenced. She was able to move around.
Yeah, came in at a great time, great angle, good knowledge of the game and the ability cooldowns there from Juff Helmet on the Katarina. Philadelph's 420 in the chat saying he told Juff that we didn't believe in the cat, so he started riding Juff riding. I guess that's what inspired him to get that sick play with the flank, get the ace for Team A1B. Team 5 starting the Baron now.
But Team 5 starting Baron. Trying to nip this gold deficit down.
Sivir's still bot lane and crucially doesn't have a teleport.
And that means Helmet taking
That
down.
Morgana ult was big.
Going up. Morgana trying to flee, but get taken down by Hecarim. Cat trying her best, but getting taken down by Cho'Gath and eaten up. Swain gets popped up by Sion. Get popped up.
That silence is so annoying for a champion like Rek'Sai. He just wants to go
Rex!
combo her abilities, but ends up getting the
Cho'Gath
away.
trying to walk out. They're not letting it happen.
Look at the bot lane. Sivir is onto the Nexus tower. I mean, the inhibitor towers at this point, and I mean, they delayed for so long.
Running so. Cho'Gath still running, getting chopped down. He's gonna take down that tree. Chopping at it, and finally goes down. Sivir finally gets taken down.
Yeah, but the base of Team 5 here just falling apart. The Nexus tower falling, and the bottom lane inhibitor tower almost falling as well. That's a third Infernal Drake falling onto the map. Both teams going to be gunning for this one, but
ladies and gentlemen, that was the last dragon we needed to see. Again, look at Team A1B behind in kills, but ahead in gold.
Yeah, already on the objective too. There's nothing that Team 5 can do here to get onto that. Had to send some members to clear the top lane, and Hecarim was just too far away, so second Infernal picked up for the side of A1B.
Team 5, get off and contest some objectives, or this game is gonna go down quickly.
Yeah, they're stuck clearing these waves here. They got them pushed out to be advantageous to them, at least in the top and the bottom wave, but they're going to have to be continually responding to this mid wave.
Something needs to shake. Hecarim jumping into 3. Katarina take.
Yeah,
Ulted.
Juff actually popping ult there, but low CD probably not going to matter too much, but
Probably.
Hecarim crucially ulted away, and that is a much longer cooldown, and it's a huge part of their engage for Team 5. Small window here for A1B to find a fight.
Small window, but I don't think they need it. I don't think they need the window, because again, they haven't shown any propensity not to take team fights and win.
Yeah, they've just been kind of playing the map and rotating around perfectly, having those 4 dragons, 8 towers to 3. Really just have to look to get priority in maybe this bottom lane, maybe some of the Sion down there with the teleport, start up the Baron, but they're starting the Baron anyway. Yeah, A1B starting the Baron.
Good Lord, they took it! A1B took the dragon as fast as I can talk.
Yeah, the double Infernal and Mountain Drake there, I mean, in combination with the Sivir, was just so much damage onto that Baron, but...
And they didn't give him an opportunity to steal it, though.
No, Sion just was over there kind of playing distraction duty, right? Just kind of sitting there in their jungle saying, look at me, I'm Sion, while the rest of the team just snuck the Baron out from behind them. So, well played by...
Now, Team 5, for trying to protect their base.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They already have the inhibitor down, the bottom inhibitor tower, very low. It's going to be a tall order here for A1B to try to come back in this one. And I can't believe we're saying that because of how good they were looking earlier in the game,
right.
But it kind of all fell apart with them getting out-rotated, maybe looking a little rusty on their comms or the team practice with rotations. And
What
objectives.
What it really seems to be is not prioritizing objectives.
Exactly, yeah. They've just been kind of getting outclassed here by A1B with
It's
this
the no
objective
threats
rotation.
curse.
It's the no threats curse. That must be it.
It's the best of 3. A1B already has one game 1. This is game 2.
Yeah, and looking to close this one out too. A1B looking extremely strong, even from behind in this game. They were behind for a significant portion of the game, actually. If you think about last game, that
Correct.
the lead that Team 5 had was very significant for how
Correct.
much of a deficit they were at the game before, but it's just not coming together for them. Juff just on this tower, not even caring about the tower's damage or the Hikarim damage.
And just walking out. But they're attacking
Fighting
him
the
from
bot
more than
lane.
one angle. Fight! Nami out comes out. She gets hit by the bubble. Sivir shooting. That
Swain
flash!
actually popped off.
That flash! Into ult!
Sivir's still alive though and doing so much damage.
Oh, and gets ulted on, jumped on by Hecarim, and gets taken down.
Yeah, but look at that mid lane. Sion's just been taking the base the whole time. He took the top inhibitor, and now he's back onto the mid one.
Using that fear. Flashing out. They're trying not to let him leave,
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
but has way more important matters to deal with. As the Winions are looking to win this game for him.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, that inhibitor is so low. That caster minion doing its best, but not able to do it with that Game Boy Advance and Halloween party rod.
Oh, bruh.
That's the Elder now. Really, A1B gets this, and that's kind of a wrap for the side of Team 5. I mean,
That's
you really
right.
want to see them try to contest this, but they have
They
to
have
stay in
4
their
dragons.
base for so long.
They have 4 dragons. They have 4 dragons. This is not gonna run out for a long time.
No, and they get so much extra damage in addition to the extra damage they already have from those double Infernal Dragons. I mean, that's giving them an extra 17% attack damage and ability power.
And Zion
It's scary
just,
if they get this Elder.
wait a minute. He's coming over the top.
They're not able to steal
Oh,
it.
he was trying to steal it. He was trying to steal it. But
And
caught over the other side.
It's gonna melt here. He doesn't have flash. There's nowhere he can go. The Sivir just absolutely shredding him. Really should be all she wrote here.
Good Lord. Cat. Take him down. Double kill. Triple
There he
kill,
is.
Cat.
Ace.
The ace for A1B, bringing it home. The superior objective game and just the rotation.
Took him a little bit longer this time.
It
took
did
him
take
longer.
a little bit longer.
Took him a little bit longer. But no matter what, this one goes over. The A1B.
Yeah, looking a little bit rougher in that early game. I mean, Team 5 showing some signs of life, but A1B, just the objective control was so good from their side, knowing their win conditions, knowing that it didn't matter they're losing early. It doesn't matter that we're giving up kills. We know what we're going to do, and we're going to execute it well.
Well, as always, we like to take a look at statistics and stats. So much more of a closer game. So much more closer. But of course, Katarina doing the most. Almost 50K damage in a game.
That's insane. That honestly was so sick. I mean, in the Rek'Sai, doing a good amount of damage too for being on the Rek'Sai.
Right.
That's usually a champion that doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but was able to get onto that backline a decent.
But before we go anywhere, I want to give a shout out to this Swain. Thank you for showing me that Swain can definitely get it done. You didn't do as bad as you did first time. You came back and put on a show. Thanks for showing us that you got it. It's just really, really sad that you didn't win it.
Yeah, the Swain was definitely looking super sick. He popped off.
Yeah.
He really did. He really did pop off. And I mean, it looked like he was going to actually win them the game at one point there, but then the objective lead for A1B just started to mount, and that gold deficit grew
And
and grew.
And it was just really hard for them to come back on that, come back, and get into it the way he wanted to get into it. My only thing was with Team 5 here, go for something. Go for something. Take your early lead and force it. Force it. Very well played. Like, y'all, they played very well. But we needed you to take that lead and force it somewhere. Go somewhere with it. Like, rotate and take something. So practice that. When you get leads and go ahead. Don't be indecisive. Don't be indecisive. Go for something. Force that fight. Just take
Exactly.
something. Take
Yeah, you would have loved
something.
to see
You
that.
didn't take enough. Like, okay, you killed them, but you didn't rob them. They're already dead. You might as well rob them. You ain't going no less to jail whether you kill them and rob them or if you just kill them. So you might as well kill them and rob them.
Yeah, and a crucial example of that is after that mid lane team fight win for the side of Team 5, when
Right.
we thought they were rotating to the Baron buff, that they actually just ended up going top lane. It would have been nice to see them go straight to that Baron buff and take that, because that game probably would have went a little bit differently if they'd taken that Baron there.
Right. But Cat popping off early, showing us, hey, I can deal with Corky. I can get past that. The long route around the Baron pit to make it in to do the most damage you could. Exciting moves from Cat.
Exciting moves indeed.
Exciting moves. Exciting. Well, this was the playoff match coming around from this one. My name is XX Howling XX, and this is
Sable, and thanks for tuning in, everybody.
alrighty. We're gonna go off, but please take a look at our social medias. Follow me on Instagram, or go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, this loudmouth person actually has a YouTube channel, so that's where I post most of the. If you don't know, if you missed a match, it's okay. Just go to the Unknown Howling YouTube channel, and they will be up there. And of course, follow Sable's Twitch stream. He is very entertaining and a very good guy to watch. Very knowledgeable young man.
Alrighty, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Howling, for having me on with you.
Look, do you hear him smiling? Y'all can hear it. You can hear that. That made him smile. He's smiling. That's what's up, bro. Well, that's going to be all for us today. You guys have a good one. I'll holler at you later. Peace out.